Hello, I'm back. Hi, folks. Sorry, just had to step out to help out with something. And now we're back, and it's Elden Ring time. There it is. We're going to be continuing the Black Bow playthrough. What's up, Obu, Ginger? We are at the Round Table Hold. We did our setup last time around. Tried out the Flying Dragon Grail cheese for the first time, so very happy about that. I want to go and get some upgrade materials, ideally, for the Black Bow, because we are going to need that. We're going to go into fight Margit pretty soon. We got the stuff from Stormhill. Obviously, Limgrave Tunnels is there for us to do. We've gone and done all of the sacred tiers and stuff. Basically, the goal today is to get to Lanedale, acquire the Black Bow, and then probably do the usual, like, Varre side quest thing to get hold of a bunch of extra runes from Mohgwyn Palace. That way we can fund the rest of our adventure. And this is Black Betty. Yes, this is the Black Bow character that we set up the other day. Black Bow is going to require us to get the Somber Smithing Stones as well, so I might get some of those now. We got the Smithing Stones on top of here, and a Stone Sword Key, so I might as well go and get those. I briefly need to refresh Streamlabs, because I think my event list didn't update after I ended the last stream and began this one, so bear with me while I check in on that. Yep, okay, perfect. That's should be going now. And we're going to do what I thought I might end up doing when I ended the last stream, which was go down here and get the Church of the Plague Sacred Tier. Black Betty, wow, I feel old. That's not how the song goes. Yeah, I was just looking for something with Black Bow, and I was like, sure, that works. Why not? Hello, Millicent. We need to go and get a couple of talismans that will be support for the bow as well. So, obviously up here on Stormhill, we can double back around and get the talisman in the chest here that gives us extra arrow damage. And then we'll get the arrow soaring sting eventually from going to the DLC. But I forget exactly where you get the arrow sting from, so this is the one that means that the damage doesn't drop off the further from them you are, I think is how it works. Is Black Betty the song from Round Jam? Yes, that one. Although I'm pretty sure Ram Jam just popularized it. It was a song long before then. I love these guys. They're so interruptible. Nice. Alright, that's the talisman then. That's Arrow's Reach, yeah. So I think the Arrow's Sting is the one you get from Caelid, right? I believe it's that tower in Caelid. Like down here. So maybe we could go and get that now, just so we have the option. Because that's just like a flat damage increase for ranged attacks. Whereas Soaring Sting just makes sure that the damage doesn't fall off the further away you get. Or it doesn't fall off as much, anyway. So we might as well go down here now. Can also maybe give us slightly better access to Radahn later. But the thing about the Black Bow is that you can't infuse it or change the Ash of War. So while we could go and get stuff like Rain of Arrows and some of the other bow skills, it's really not going to matter that much. Want to live in the Elden Ring world, but just be a random lady who appears at the most bizarre places with exactly what you needed, but I'm always a minute too late? Nah, that's... You don't want to live in the Elden Ring world, trust me. We should also probably go and get the locations of various merchants, because I always forget this about bow runs, but you do need to buy ammunition, and Dragon Barrow Merchant has the poison arrows. There's a guy just astray from Caelid Highway that has the fire arrows. We'll obviously get the map here. I don't think this merchant has the fire arrows, but even if he does, I think the has flaming bolts, but not flaming arrows, right? Yeah, and the Caelid Astray one has flaming arrows and is also right next to a grace, so very easy to get hold of. We'll go down here. That tower ahead of us is where we're headed for the talisman. We are currently at the point where basically anything here will kill us, but I think maybe we can take on the guards. It's a savage and hostile world it is, yes. Fortunately around here a lot of the guards will aggro the dogs, so we don't need to worry too much about getting hit by stuff. We mostly need to worry about what's waiting for us when we get to the top of this tower. Because they have ranged attacks too. Fortunately, they stagger very easily. Thanks for the bolts, I guess. Ouch. Whoop. That was going to be a concern. Fortunately, they are silly. And they jump down. And then they bleed. Okie dokie. They are from a silly place, yes. So that is the second of the 2 talismans we need. Now we need to go and get a talisman pouch. So that's a good reason to fight Margit. First of all, we could go there. We could go and get the smithing 2s, I think, in Liurnia. We could get the bow upgraded a lot more just by doing a round tour of Liurnia. But then I want to see if maybe we can just take on Margit now, because bows don't really scale all that much. Which means, I mean, leveling the weapon is probably going to be ideal, though, right? Can take this off. Can take that off. We do also have Radagon's Saw Seal, but even the Strength and Dex boost is not really going to be that useful to us right now. We could probably take Margit out with a few good mighty shots. We'll go and get the Grace here at least, and then we'll do some quick upgrades, and we'll see how far we get. And he's also got a certain amount of weakness to poison, so if we go and get the Dragon Barrow Merchant's arrows, we can possibly get some headway done on that. Oh yeah, flasks. Let's do that too. So we now have, as far as flasks go, 7 and 1 is pretty good. Yeah, let's go back to Fort Faroth. Let's go and get the Dragon Barrow Merchant's Grace, because then we can at least buy those arrows. Blast Jordan, thank you for the 22. You think you're supposed to press that button? You are, and I thank you for it. Oh, we can also get another Somber on the way, can't we? Climb over here, over Grail's Perch. And yeah, we'll just head up here for the Somber and then back down for the Merchant's Shack. lurking in the background for this one. Hey, no worries. Lurkers are always welcome. Especially on these Elden Ring streams. We're a lot more casual on these streams anyway. The overhead strike, though. Nice. Okay, that's good. I don't think we will need to get too many of the other smithing stones, because getting into Lanedale shouldn't require leveling the longbow too much. And then from there, we'll just need the somber stones. Are we out of the beast weapon series? Yes, we're on to the black weapon series. We have black bow, black knife, the 2 black steel weapons, and then I think Blade of Calling is right after that. Fighting a dung beetle should not be this hard. Yeah, well, that's dung beetles in Caelid. They're built different.
How can I help?
How can you help? You can help by calling off your attack sheep. Hello? This guy also doesn't sell smithing stones, so freaking stop it, dude. Absurd. Blade of Calling sounds cool, I say, with no knowledge on this game other than these streams. Blade of Calling is like the Black Knife, but worse, from what I've gathered. It's basically a sacred equivalent of the Black Knife, which sounds like it'd be fine, except a lot of the stuff later on in this game is, frankly, very tanky against sacred. So we'll see. We'll see how it go. Yeah, I only have 10 of those, so we ideally want to get the other merchant down here as well. Then I'm wondering if we specialize in fire arrows, having something like the fire shrouding crystal tier will be really useful. Is that sheep running at me? Yeah, that's my favorite Elden Ring game show. Oh, that's not really a place I can jump off. This, on the other hand, is, although at great risk to my personal health. Black Knife, Black Steel Grey Hammer, Black Steel Twin Blade, Blade of Calling, yes. Elden Ring has certain naming conventions when it comes to some weapons, but there aren't too many that are like Blade of this and Blade of that. I was quite surprised, considering how many gargoyle weapons there are, and carrion weapons, and there's a few others like that that have quite similar names. So down here near Aeonia Swamp, there is a merchant who will talk to you when you spawn in at the Grace. So yep, there he is. We see his campfire. There's all of the rot flowers we'll ignore. Was that a dinosaur? They're kind of a combination of dogs and T-Rexes, yeah. Shout out to my runes right now, by the way. There he is.
Please. I'm hungry.
We'll sell this so that we can buy a bunch of those. And then I wonder if... I think, honestly, we'll be a little bit too low level. The weapon will be too low level for the fight where we can get the Flame Shrouding Crystal tier from. So I don't really want to risk it. 1 second, sorry, just got to check something. Okay, great. Nice. Nice keyboard sounds. Thank you. My partner built this keyboard for me, and I love it. It's so nice. So we have that now. Finger readers there. We have Isolated Merchant Shack 2. We can go back there. Where do we want to go for smithing stones? I think Fort Gale or Gale Tunnel is going to be a little too dicey right now. Although we could just run through it, I guess. Maybe we'll head that way. And if we didn't want to put too much into scaling stats for this weapon, then we could always maybe put a little bit into Faith and get, like, Golden Vow for that flat damage increase. The reason I think of that right now is that we could also get Flame Grant Me Strength from over here. And then we'll go back up to Gale Tunnel after that. Really like a nice keyboard like that someday. It's been worth the investment, this, so far. Like, genuinely one of my favorites that I've ever used. Even though it's an expensive hobby. Like, building custom keyboards is not cheap. But there are obviously good quality materials you can get relatively inexpensively, and people seem to be quite open to sharing information about when good deals come up, so it's a pretty keyboard as well. Yeah, I really love it. It goes very well with the desk mat, which is an extrafy desk mat that's also got like a... Okay, well I had 9 runes, so that doesn't really matter much. The extrafy desk mat has like a blue and white kind of motif going on, so... Finally got a keyboard where the letters aren't wearing off after a few weeks. Really well. So yeah, 9 runes, not really worth worrying about. We'll head back up to Gale Tunnel. We'll get a few of the smithing stones from there. I think I'd rather do this than go to Altus for the bell bearings. And we can just run through here to get a few quick upgrades. These guys aren't going to give me any trouble, right? Guess not. The fact that you can outpace most guards on a horse is really quite helpful. You okay up there, guys? Well, whatever he drops, I don't need it. Oh, we got 2 of them in a go, but now we're about to die, so... Yikes. Acquire the materials, quickly! Oh god, oh god! Yep, that's pretty bad, actually. I need this, I need this. Just kidding, I didn't actually need it. Time for Octopus Cave. Yeah, I think Smithing Stone 4 is probably the highest we'll go with this bow. Ow. I'm feeling attacked. Ooh, Smithing Stone 4. Something else we don't need to get from EG. Yeah, that's right. Set fire to those octopi. Should have seen that coming. Just trying to heal, and the miner immediately stabs me. No biggie, though. At this point, we're at the point where losing 1,000 runes at a time is not exactly big potatoes. Excuse me. Thank you for the rune. Nice swing there, bud. Not really many smithing stones in this room. Miners have aged since Temple of Doom, they sure have. Okay, we're going to ignore the magma worm. We're just going to grab this. Open this up for Alexander. Go behind him, grab this. Touch the grace. Run back here, check that we didn't miss any smithing stones. Looks like we didn't. Let's get out of here. Okay, that's that taken care of. We can't get on the horse yet because we're not out of the cave, you fool. I think most of the smithing 3s we get from Leonia anyway. There's always this tunnel, but I don't think that gets us the right stuff. What's up, Peachy Queen? You no need to apologize, it's fine. Maybe let's do one of these. Yeah, let's try and go into Margit unupgraded and see how we get on.
Foul tarnished. In search of the
Oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you so much for spending some of your birthday with us.
emboldened by the flame of ambition.
This is Margit. He also wishes you a happy birthday. He wishes you the flame of ambition. Extinguish the flames on the candles of your cake. Someone must extinguish thy candles. Ah, we'll be fine. As long as he doesn't kill us with stuff like that. Mighty shot to the butt. Honestly, keeping him at range is not terrible. I don't think he takes extra damage from fire or anything, but the fire arrows just do a lot of bonus damage, so they're kind of worth using here.
Well, thou art of passing skill.
Somehow that hit him.
Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins. Tarnished.
Nice. Okay, yeah, this is totally fine. If he hits me with a combo in a second, we might have a hard time, but... he doesn't really evade much, so... it's actually quite straightforward to beat him with a bow. It's going to be sort of similar to how we eventually end up beating Grafted Scion the first time. It's just like, use the space of the arena, evade, get some mighty shot off when you can. Wait for him to do a big move. Big punish window to follow up. Get a couple of jump shots in. Oh, he actually interrupts Mighty Shot, though. That's fun. Oh, we kind of traded projectiles there. And that's game. Pretty good. Probably be able to do something similar with Godrick if we want to. Do we have enough to level up? No, we don't. We need another 3,000. Don't really quite have the runes for that, unfortunately. We can get close, but I don't think close enough. Either way, we now have another talisman slot, so that's the other arrow talisman in place. I think before Godrick we will level up at Round Table Hold. We'll just put a couple of levels into this bow. I don't know if Godrick has fire resistance, considering he's using a dragon as a weapon, but I don't think it'll be an issue. And we didn't even use the poison arrows that time.
You're no match allowed. You're...
Okie doke, that's not too bad. So, +2 on this bow should be okay. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be enough. Obviously, the patterns here are the main concern.
Come off. It's tight. Try to guard your breach. Well, but of course. The gate! Open the gate!
Okie dokie. Let's do the Stormveil Gauntlet. I wonder if Godrick's Great Rune is going to be worth getting this time around just because it'll give us a boost in, like, faith and stuff. My camera die? Oh, it seems to have. Did I just, yeah, there you go. I just didn't put it back after the Margit scene. No worries. I don't know where the Omen Lion went. So, probably about to get jump attacked. Oh no, it reset. That's fine. Excuse me, gents. Run from here diagonally to this side. Oh, yikes. And then they get flamethrowers. Love that. You missed. You fool. Am I using a new character for each weapon? Most of the time, yes. The previous stream was our first full New Game Plus run because the weapon that we needed for the playthrough was in Farum Azula, so I just farmed it from the previous character and did a New Game Plus. But that's because it was basically the same weapon. It was the Beastman's Cleaver and then the Beastman's Curved Sword. They're not too dissimilar. So here we are at Godrick. We could, of course, look into spawning Nefeli in just to keep his aggro off us. We will be using some summons later on, so I don't consider it like an honor thing or whatever. But we can try Godrick without first. Do I have anything set up on the Wanderer's Physic yet? No, I don't. Well, you at least start off with the Strength Not Tier and this, so it might marginally affect our damage. It really won't be that big of a deal. Anyway, camera's going off again. Let's see if I forget to turn it back on this time.
Mighty dragon.
What's up, Sir G. Gerald? Still don't understand why falling star beasts are weak to gravity. Yeah. They've already fallen. They don't need gravity anymore.
Me unto greater heights. Well. A lowly tarnish.
How am I liking the bow so far? I'm not using the black bow yet. The longbow is fine.
Playing as a lord.
I think I've used the longbow on both my previous bow runs. Albinoric bow and Ansbach's longbow.
I command thee, kneel. I am the lord of all that is golden.
But we'll be getting the black bow if we can get to Lanedale this stream, which we should be able to. Just got to beat Draconic Tree Sentinels, so... Oh! Interesting, that deflects. I forgot. We should be able to get at range and use Mighty Shot pretty effectively, though. Yeah. Counter! Oh, I rolled into that one. My bad. He's phasing through the dragon for some reason. Ah, I keep forgetting about that. Because we're at range, he's using that attack quite a lot. Phase transition should be coming up in a second. Around here. When he's not doing this. Nice. Got him as a counter. And I'll back up the stairs, so we shouldn't get affected by the flamethrower. Put a bit more juice into the Mighty Shot now. That's doable. Alright, peace. Amazing how vulnerable he is to fire, considering he is spewing it from one arm. Okay, yeah, that's getting deflected as well. Okay, that one just found me. Not quite sure how. I was hoping I'd recover from the skill in time to dodge roll that, but I did not. Where are you, man? He's rolled into a ditch for some reason. Bet this is going to hit the tree. Oh, it didn't. Okay, good. Was worried the tree was going to somehow give him cover. Poor timing. Okay, that's Mighty Shot done, so the rest is just going to be jump shots. Jump shots are, I think, a little bit weaker than a standard, like, loosed arrow, but pretty straightforward fight.
That is golden, and one day we'll return together to our home, bathed in rays of gold.
We are unbothered. Oh, Armageddon is very good. Very good way to describe that. Okay, Dex will increase our attack a little bit. Not a huge amount, but some. And we'll probably put one into strength as well. Or one into vigor, rather. Briefly say hi to Gostock.
Pathetic excuse for a lord you were.
Continue monologuing. By all means, I'm off to Liurnia. Dragon is super effective against dragon? I suppose so, yes. Need to go and top up on fire arrows when I have more runes. I think Renala would be a difficult fight just because of how much ranged counter she has. I think Phase 2 Radahn would be kind of awful. But at least we'd have the summons and stuff. And I think by the time we fight either of those two, we will end up with a pretty decent amount of upgrades on this bow, and possibly even access to Mohgwyn Palace, so we could do some leveling. Right, let's hop on through. Need help against Malenia. Helps if you specify a platform, because Elden Ring isn't cross-platform, so if you're on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, if you're asking people in this chat. But I don't know how many people in this chat actually play versus just watch, so... And I am in the middle of building a character. But best of luck. Malenia's a tough fight. Hope it goes well for you. I might be able to buy the rest of the upgrade materials from this. Merchant over here. Provided I have the runes for it. I don't know how much they cost.
You're unsurprised no matter. Why don't... Oh, but don't...
Okay, yeah. We'll do a quick walk back to Round Table Hold to get a few more levels into this thing. Again, we're not doing bow only. I've already attacked a couple of things with the sword. But it's nice to use it as much as we can. We also need to come back to Round Table Hold anyway to start Varre's quest by going to speak to the Two Fingers. I play, but not before work. I get too angry. That's fair.
Great anchor until it was a tragic.
Great anchor.
Seek to become
Okay. So Varre's quest should now be available to us in Liurnia. Tried playing, but it's so difficult. My guy gets killed a lot. I mean, I had a similar experience when I was first introduced to this game. It takes time. But here we are on our 28th streamed run of this, and I know all of the tricks. I know all of the ways to level up quickly, and most of the time rely on that as a bit of a crutch, because I don't have the patience to go through with fighting everything slowly. I like to be able to level up and deal massive damage to stuff. But there are definitely folks out there who have figured out how to break this game in all kinds of interesting ways. Even at like rune level 1 and stuff. So we'll go and tag the Grace at Academy. We'll go and start Varre's quest. Get the bell bearing for smithing stone upgrades, just in case we want to level like a sacred seal or something later. Leaving my options open a little bit for the black bow. But I've heard that this is the bow to use. If there is any. Getting familiar with the map is half the battle? Yeah, like... majority of what I do on these runs now is just ignoring stuff that you might otherwise stop and fight just in case it was significant. And I think that's the thing I'm having with Dark Souls 2 right now, is like learning what you're expected to do in each area is really half of the reason you get killed so much. Because if I knew I needed to go to this specific place and activate Faris's Lockstone here or whatever, then, like, I would have done that. There are some things in Dark Souls 2 where there are literally, like, petrified people who you have to get out of the way, and so some of those you need to know where they are in chests and everything, but, like, all of the Estus Flask upgrades and everything, like, yeah, all of that stuff. It's like theory in chess, the first opening moves are almost on instinct. Yeah, sure. Hello. You sinister something. Sinister so-and-so.
Give it a try, and if it drive high.
Alright. From here we go do dragon heists. Trying to think what else we typically need for a setup here. We can buy the magic arrows from the merchant on the Ray Lucaria entrance slope. I don't think there's much else we need. You have to craft rot arrows. You can farm them in the DLC. And there are some enemies in the Halig tree that drop Aeonian butterflies. But I never really bother with Scarlet Rot as an effect. It's not something I want to worry about too much because the arrows have to be crafted and therefore farming consumables is necessary and it takes ages. The bar is quite high to be regarded as sinister in Elden Ring. I mean, Varre is definitely it. I thought you meant the TV series ER. Yes, Emergency Room. That's what this feels like when I'm aggroing dragons. I feel like I'm in the emergency room. It's just called my office. We'll grab this here. I don't think we need to go back to 4 Belfries for anything, but I've done my time farming stuff at 4 Belfries. Let's get the upgrade materials from a couple of these gazebos. My favorite OP weapon. Anvil Hammer was really fun. Backhand Blade was really fun. Those are the ones that we've had amazing playthroughs with so far. I thought the Ash of War on Bastard Stars was also really cool. And I'm trying to think of what the others are, but those are the ones that spring to mind right away. I'm really looking forward to Bloodfiend's Arm, which is obviously coming up pretty soon. I think somewhere after Blade of Calling. But yeah, that one's one of the most OP weapons in the DLC. Beast Repellent Torch was amazing. I was really surprised by the Torch run. Bong! Yeah, genuinely I was like, how is this weapon this good? When it's really not meant to be a weapon at all. But then, when one of the final major bosses has a relative weakness to fire damage, and the torch itself does a lot of poise damage, it turned out pretty well in the end. Is there a matching Sword of Answering? Hello, Blade Calling. Tragically, I do not believe there is. Has anyone completed this challenge before? I don't think so, because I don't know that many people have actually bothered to do this. Okay, alright. Stab me, will you? Stab me, will you? There are a few people who are currently trying to play through with every weapon, but they're doing it in different ways. Like, sometimes they start from a New Game Plus character who's already got everything, and they just, like, play through New Game Plus 1. Sometimes I think they just continue through New Game Plus as they go, but in my case I'm trying to start from a fresh character as often as I can. With the main reason for that being, I think getting to the weapon and seeing a different part of the game each time feels more interesting to me. But I know some folks who will do they'll do like all remembrance bosses or whatever to still make sure that they see most of the game and kind of keep it challenging and stuff. There's a mod out there also. Oh yeah, there's like save editors and stuff that you could use, right? Is this a smithing stone too? Yeah, there you go. So now we should have all 4 Sombers, so we don't need to buy them from EG. Which means we need to get the 5 and the 6 and the 7 in the usual way. Then we'll get the 10 from Mohgwyn Palace. And that'll be a fully upgraded black bow once we reach Lanedale. Which is where we get the black bow anyway, so that actually works. Yoink. Running through here should at least get us upgrades for the longbow. Oh, yikes. Nice. I'll take it. And that one as well. Now we should have... Yeah, we've got 9 of those, which means we need 1 more. And we'll be able to buy 1 more after we get the boss here defeated. Gonna ignore those guys. I'm pretty sure we also get some smithing 3s from this next room. Yeah. So that should get us pretty well upgraded for whatever the next big boss fight is. We could also go to Altus and get the 3 and 4 stone. Or bell bearing, rather. The main thing with this fight coming up is that I want to make sure we stance break before I start using the bow. Just for the sake of, like, making the fight a little easier for me. And because you can't really poise break enemies with a bow. There we go. I don't know what elemental damage works best against these. Don't know if a fire weapon does especially more or anything, but... Ow. I still don't have the greatest defense against this. Other than just dodge rolling, I mean. Freaking Soul Calibur character. Nice. Hey, check out my cool new accessory. Everyone's wearing them. Let's just warp out of here. The Whirling Dervish, yes. Always the Dervish. So, we've got enough for upgrades to plus 10. Oh no, maybe plus 8. Yeah. Yeah, we still need to get a few more 3s. We'll get them from Liurnia though, so... we'll buy one of those, that should be enough. We'll go back to Liurnia and grab 1 or 2 more from the gazebos. Yeah, I forget which ones have them, but... saw an actual Whirling Dervish in Dubai, I was very impressed. Nice. We shouldn't need to go and see EG because we have all of the Sombers we need. So after this, we can just go to Altus. That should trigger the Radahn Festival. We'll go fight Radahn. Get into Lanedale. Do Varre's quest. Grab this on the way. And then out to this forest. I think that gets us the next 3 smithing stones we'll need. It's the ones in the gazebo that's always surrounded by poison. Which is right over here, I believe. Yeah, that one. Straight ahead. There's basically always a flower doing this. That's what we needed. Let's go and find a bush to crouch in, since the flowers aren't especially mobile. And we're good.
I didn't. I'll be doing much. Just lay out.
Sorry to interrupt you. Okay, now we're at the point where we actually need to sell stuff in order to upgrade. Which is a good position to be in. Plus 11. Very nice. I think enough ammo and we'll be good to fight Radahn. We'll obviously need to summon all the squad to make sure that we can fight effectively. But we can go and get more flasks and stuff if we need them to. The Dread Gazebo, the very same. The gazebo that catches you and eats you. We need to do Yura's quest, so I think we're going to do the Ravenmount Assassin invasion here. I won't bother doing it with a bow, because last time that was awful. I think it was the crossbow, actually, we did that with. But having got the golden seed, I think there should be an invasion sign up here somewhere. Unless you have to speak to Yura first. I don't think you have to fight Nereus, but maybe you need to meet Yura. Let's see. Hey, man.
You do well to steal. And it's just so. Stay clear. Don't.
Don't. We're not going to be seeing Tanith and her knight for a little while, are we? Okay, so in that time it started raining in Liurnia. There's the invasion sign. Would have spotted it before if it was there, so evidently it has arrived since. Maybe we can try with the bow a couple of times while Yura's distracting him, because this guy is very maneuverable. But if we line up a shot well, and I actually have the arrows I plan on equipping... No, we're still going to miss a lot. Oh, I got him in the air, though. Just go after him with Unsheath. It's a lot faster. And we feel like proper backup for Yura. Yeah, get wrecked. Okay, yeah, Unsheath isn't going to do much now because I ran out of FP. Nice. Good fight. Welcome back, Alta. So now we should get the Eleonora invasion, which means we can get the crystal tier that helps us fight Mohg.
That bloody finger.
I believe he also gives us a smithing stone. Not that I need that really, but
Yeah, she is the budding spot. If she comes, there is no beyond a harp sweep.
okay. That part's done. Now onward to Altus for a lot more flask upgrades. Potentially we fight Magnus the Beastclaw. And at the very least, we get to unlock the fight with Radahn. Oh, good amounts of root resin. Just in case we need to grease the weapons. I think my main source of runes to buy arrows with at the moment is just going to end up being the runes and remembrances we pick up on the way. So I might have to cash in Godrick's for some arrows before we fight Radahn. Then again, I think Radahn is relatively weak against Scarlet Rot. Because obviously he has it, but you just make it worse, I guess. So, maybe if anything, that's the boss that we should farm the arrows for. Farming arrows is a pain, though. I don't really want to do it. We get an extra rune arc from doing the Raven Mountain Assassin fight as well, so maybe I'll go and get Godrick's Great Rune and give ourselves a little bit of a boost before we go fight Radahn. I'm going to try something for the approach to the Shabriri Tower this time. I'm going to try something a little different. Not sure how much focus the samurai armor gives me, but maybe I should put the helmet back on. So I think we still have to go up here, but I have seen that there is a spirit spring just below the cliff. And I wonder if you can use that just to get up onto the tower without having to deal with the rats and everything. Big if true. Obviously we'll hide down here to prevent getting... Yeah, it's right there. If we get to that... Obviously we expose ourselves to the tower flame a little bit more. But then if we do one of these... Oh, okay, it just gets you up there faster. That's not really that helpful. Tag you when the Godfrey fight happens? Why Godfrey? I mean, it's a fun fight, I guess, but... Okay, that's that done. We'll grab this just in case I want to use it later, but I don't think I will. Which Godfrey? I presume Goldfrey, because Horaloo is not going to happen this stream. Yeah, Zoom call Godfrey. I can't believe it's not Godfrey. The Butterman. Yeah, the one with the lion we're not going to be seeing until next stream at the earliest. Probably not even then, because this is a bow playthrough. These tend to be a little longer, a little more tricky. And yeah, the Butter Knight. So we're going to do the Vike fight now, just so we can get the next Sacred Tier and get... Varre's quest done in the usual way. This fight sucks to do with a bow. He's going to heal in a second. Yeah, get wrecked. Come at me with your spear, will you? This man's a pincushion right now. Ouch. Nice, one more. Go on. Vike, there's a lot of arrows in your bud. I want to pull some of those out, eh? Looks like me in Minecraft fighting a skeleton spawner. Yep. Same. Right. Up to Altus. And then Radahn. And then we should be able to get into Lanedell. Give or take Draconic Tree Sentinel. But that fight's not terrible. We are at least hoisting the medallion. He took an arrow to the head, shoulders, knees, and toes. I'm going to say Ritual Sword Talisman might be worth getting because given that we are a ranged character, we are probably spending longer at the start of each fight with full health instead of charging in and having to do a melee swing. So maybe we'll go and fight the Demi-Human Queen here. Got to keep an eye on my arrow purchasing budget, though. Take some extra strength. We can always switch the katana if we need to. Ow. Clobbered. Oh, yeah, okay. That's some damage. We'll try that one again. Yeah, the Enderman look, the purple eyes. Encore. I should probably make sure I get my runes. Got chomped. Did not even see what happened there. The reach in here is a lot? Yeah. Yeah, lanky enemy and small room. Okay, my runes are right here this time, so... Try not to get clobbered by the staff throw this time. Ouch. Thought I dodge rolled that. Apparently not. Nice. Get him in the eyes. Oh, rough. I did bring a bow to a fist fight, but we did it anyway. Oh, that's the exit. Where's the talisman? Here we go. Give it a rest with that staff, Your Majesty. If you'd be so kind as to maybe back it up there. Well, long live the Queen, and we are out to Erdtree Gazing Hill. I think we really need to do an arrow shopping trip at this point. So let's go and get the Grace up here at the roadsides, and then we'll go and buy some arrows. Purple tracking eyes are super creepy in a nice way. Oh yeah, this game does atmospheric very well, obviously, so the eyes are all part of the atmosphere. I don't think I've ever, like, raided these little camps in here. I don't think there's anything worthwhile having in there. Unless there's maybe a weapon or two stashed away that I don't know about. I know in the DLC that's where you get a lot of the perfume bottles, but I don't know if there's anything really worth having there. Recipe books and stuff like that, probably. A lot of the perfumer stuff is on Altus. Right, so back to... Wait, where am I going? Oh yeah, shopping. Back to Caelid. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break in a moment, but we're going to grab the arrows from our friend the merchant up here.
Ah, how nice.
That's maxed out on regular arrows, so that's good. I mean, almost maxed out, not quite. We're going to sell this. We're going to buy... Yeah, we'll probably max out on fire arrows as well. And that should be good for a while. Like I said, we do have the poison arrows too. Let's go and get the other flasks. But we'll do that after I've taken a break. So, I'm going to rest at this grace. And, yeah, we'll be back in just a second after I've been to the bathroom. Be right back. Okay, let us continue. We have a little bit of flask upgrade to do. And time to go in the front door. I didn't used to enjoy this part as much because I think of the archers on the next flight up. Like, these archers can hit you pretty accurately if you're not, like, moving a certain way, and I used to find that kind of annoying, but it's them or the rune bears, you know? Yeah, I think I'm in the clear now. RHC Frank, thanks so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate the Prime sub. Okay, we're in Lanedale outskirts. We'll grab this. We could go and get the other smithing stones from down there. Or the smithing stone bell bearing. I don't know if I need to. First time I did that part, I did a very cinematic 1x1 duel all the way to the top. Yeah. It's like running the gauntlet. Another scarab up there. It's got something. I don't know what. We don't want the Viridian Amber Talisman, so no bonus Margit fight today. I'm going to go ahead and say we will get the extra sacred tears this time around because I'm going to want as much healing as I can possibly get if the fights are going to be slower. There's more opportunity for me to take damage if I'm fighting bosses for longer, therefore I should probably make sure that I have the capacity to heal. Thanks for the bolts, but I'm an archer, not a crossbowman. We'll go this way. We also need the Smithing Stone 5 from over here. And the 6 from fighting Magnus the Beastclaw. Provided, of course, that we win. Wait, where is the one in here? Oh, it's down there. It's that guy. Next to the Erdtree Guardian, who's like looking wistfully at this tree that's infested by worm faces. I never really used lightning arrows, I don't think. Those obviously have a fun added damage in water, like a lot of other lightning stuff. Well, I didn't jump off the cliff like last time, so I think maybe I got seen. Oh, maybe not. Don't want to be perceived. One more golden seed from here, and that's probably 2 full flask upgrades, so now we're probably on 11 flasks total. We'll get the map as well. Ignore me! I think this way to the other church. Eleonora fight.
Slightly. Do not stay.
Nagakiba actually does less damage, but more dex scaling. Better range too. Huge sword. And we also have Piercing Fang as an ash, which is not going to help us against Eleonora, apparently. Eleonora with that full Drake Knight outfit. Very long sword, yes. Sephiroth long. Gosh, this thing is huge. So there's tremendous sense of value. Well, Yura is long gone, but his bride remains. It attacks fast, too. I feel like it's faster than the Uchi. Man, that's an attack. The dragon incantations are a little bit rough on little old me with my low health bar right now. Should have been putting more points into Vigor this whole time. I'll use the blood grease because honestly, why not? We're definitely in the environment for it, eh? Bleed versus bleed in the battle of the century. Yep, I was always going to get caught in that, wasn't I? Oh god, the dogs! I forgot about the dogs! Okay, now I no longer have the Ash of War available, but still got hit by that. It's like one of those anime fights where like the objects in the environment get torn apart even though they aren't hitting. It's like the skulls on the ground are getting slashed up. Blood flame even. Okay, we got a couple of hits that time. Took me a second. Oh wow. Oh yeah, jumping attacks are a thing. Let me try one of those. Nice. She's got the seal out. She's ready for another incantation. Yep, thought so. Still got hit by it. That felt like a proper, like, samurai duel. I'm down to my last heal. But we have the crystal tier, and that is what we needed. So, imagine doing that with a bow. Love it when the game gets anime. Really does. Excuse me. Got a tickle in my throat. So, off to fight Magnus the Beastclaw. This is not going to go well because my health bar is very low. But this will be necessary to help my health bar slightly. Because this is going to help us get to Mohgwyn Palace. I might up my flasks before I go into this fight. Purely because I will need extra heals. And you get half the flasks that you normally have for an invasion. So increasing that to 10 is at least going to make sure I have 5. I believe this guy sells you the lightning arrows. Or maybe sells you the crafting recipe for lightning arrows.
Are you here as a co-
Lightning bolts is what he sells you, yeah. But then this has the lightning pot recipe. Oh. Yeah, I wonder where you get lightning arrows from. Oh. It's okay. Don't mind me. So, let's say hi to Goldmask. Hi, Goldmask. And with business concluded, we continue on. A little bit of full damage this time, nothing major. Can look it up. Hey, no worries. It's not an element I'm that interested in using, so it should be okay. How do I not have enough for 2 flask upgrades from that? Oh, it needs 4 for the next one probably, right? That's probably it. So we'll get that maybe after Lanedale at this point. Or we could go to Gelmir, but I don't want to go to Gelmir. It is a silly place. Question is, can we beat Magnus with a bow? Need to do Windham Catacombs for the crafting recipe? Right. Can't be bothered. It's probably why I haven't done it in the past. There's got to be some situations in which I will do it, but not today. Okay, good. Yeah, keep rolling late and we'll be fine here, bud. He's gonna heal in a second anyway. Yeah, now he's rolling sideways instead of forwards. How much stamina do you have? There we go. Nice. Keep coming, keep coming. Nice. I like how this has gone better than some of my melee weapon attempts at fighting this guy have. GG. Should be called the rabbit bow with how often you keep jumping. That's how you fight with most bows in this game. It just gets a quick shot off, and half the time the enemy doesn't have a great way of avoiding it. I'm not here, you can't see me. Thank you. Okay, let's go and see Varre. I did bamboozle him with arrows. That was the hope, at least. So now we can do the last steps of Varre's quest. Get to Mohgwyn Palace. We could do a little bit of leveling before we fight Radahn, but I don't know.
Oh, I'm glad. You have a... I wish to a knight luminary. So, now. For normally this... But since...
Okay. Up to Church of Inhibition. Grab the blood. Thought it was for dodging tactics. Well, it kind of is. But it's also... yeah, it's a faster way to fire. Like the standard longbow shot requires you to do like a plant drawback fire. So it takes a little while, whereas jumping shots have to happen while you're in the air, so they are quicker because your jump animation is not that long. But it does take... It does deal slightly less damage than a standing shot does, I think, but it's barely noticeable. Because you're not doing a ton of damage to begin with.
You've complained with this a knight.
Alright, do the thing with the finger. You know the one.
Oh, good heavens. Clench your teeth or something.
The only line of dialogue that we will never be able to skip.
Which is what you have. Oh.
Okay, let's do this. What's up, Kev? Good to see you. We're on the Black Bow run of Elden Ring, so we're going to be fighting Radahn shortly and then heading to Lanedell. Which is going to be tricky, but doable. And then once we have the bow, we will be most likely aiming to level up and head to the DLC so that we can get the other arrow talisman. They call him Varre the Unskippable. Heroes Rune 3. Heroes Rune 5? Oh, 4. I knew it was something like that. Blood Roses, Smithing Stone 6. Not that we need it, but just in case we want it later. More runes, and Grace. Now for Radahn. So let's see if we can do it this way. We'll obviously spend a few runes first, because I could do with a little more health. What's this going to get us? Maybe this, and then maybe also the other one. Will this get us 2 levels? Ooh, not quite. Well, in that case, surely we can fight this guy. That'll be a few hundred, right? 600, nice. So we'll do that a couple more times. And then we'll jump off a cliff. I know there's 2 outside the door, but fighting these things more than 1 at a time is annoying, so... To glaive. Sorry, Millicent. Don't mean to keep causing you pain. These 2 will get us there. Nice. That should be enough health that we can at least survive 1 or 2 of Radahn's attacks. And also few enough runes that we can just hop off this cliff. Didn't wait to hop though, did I? I think the first jump was good, you just gotta wait for the second jump. Also, thinking about it, should we go and... Let's go and activate Godrick's Great Rune, equip it, not use a rune arc. We can use a rune arc once we get to the arena. Stuck on Fire Giant at the moment? Yeah, it's a rough one. Are people of this world hostile to everything, and that's just the way of things, or is there something about you that makes you the more want to kill you? Kind of both, I think. Because the... creatures of this world are typically kind of hostile because they're doing whatever they can to survive, but also as the tarnished or whatever, your existence here does mean that you are trying to become the Elden Lord, and there's a lot of stuff that wants to stop you from doing that. I think we'll just run through this thing's legs and go to the teleporter, because I don't want to actually earn runes in the meantime. I don't think I've ever really skipped those golems before, but, like, you can, so why not? Yeah, and you're basically, like, cast out of the lands between by Marika, who is, for all intents and purposes, God. So it's kind of a tricky situation for everyone concerned. Sorry, just it got dark, so I was closing up my blinds. Oh, I didn't realize that's just a straight up hold down L2. I've been, like, giving it an additional input like it was unsheath. I was kind of surprised that the R1 and the R1 and R2 input did the same thing, and then I'm like, oh no, it just does that. Never mind. Fortunately, I didn't throw myself off the elevator this time. This is also a really good grace to have just in case we need to farm arrow crafting materials later, because the Stormhawks around here drop the feathers that you need to make fletched arrows, which are better. Although the majority of them you can just buy from various places. There's a couple of effects that you can't. Why am I also using a sword for this run? I don't have the actual bow yet, and typically I allow myself to use whatever weapons it takes to get to the weapon we're using for the run, and I'm still allowed support weapons because honestly some of these weapons are kind of miserable to use on their own. Bows and crossbows are not the best weapons in the game, especially compared with some other armaments, so... The other thing is ammunition. Like, you need to buy a lot of ammo if you're going to be using a bow the entire time. Okay, that one didn't work out. But yeah, on the Albinoric bow run, we used the Cross Naginata, like a spear weapon for that. I forget what we ended up using for Ansbach's bow in the end, but I think it might have been a scythe, because Ansbach also uses a scythe. I forget exactly, but... Now we've done it. Good. Just find a librarian to sell you Infinity books? Yes. The Archer class in Elden Ring Night Rain apparently has infinite arrows. And I think maybe you even have infinite arrows if you're, if you pick up a bow whilst you're a different class. Like, it is possible to switch up your gameplay style, which is fun. We died in just the correct way that time, yes. And in this case... we're going to run away from Radahn. So hopefully his AI bugs out. Though it doesn't seem to have this time, perhaps because we already summoned in a bunch of guys, so... yeah, let's not worry about it this time. Nice one, Torrent. He also has a bow. This seems doable. Helpful that we have friends, obviously. It's also nice to be, like, hitting center of mass on Radahn as opposed to a melee fight where you feel like you're hitting his horse more than anything. Get him, Alexander. Okay, this should proc phase 2 in a second. Yep, there it goes. Okay, pretty clean phase 1. No damage so far, anyway. There he is. Do a little bit of horseback. Excuse me. Let's go make sure the squad is resummoned. Notification squad to me. Oh, forgot that staggers you off the horse. Oh, come on. That went under his arm. Really? Come on now. Horse eye frames, baby! Jaren, to me! Okay, we're doing pretty well here, it looks like, but just gotta make sure we dodge some of these. There's a walking pot helping you. Now this is cinema. It really is. Alexander is one of the best characters in this game. Alright, let's get the squad back. Where are they? Oh, that one took me further away, not closer. Which I'm fine with. Yes, more archers. Go, my archers. Okay, that time the... Oh my gosh, we fought him for long enough that we're getting Meteor 2. Okay. Fair enough. Come this way. Hey, there it goes. Okay. That was his last hurrah. Never seen Radahn's arena so bright. Yeah, this happens when you skip into it by jumping off from Church of the Plague, because normally if you go to Castle Redmane, you watch the cutscene about Radahn, and it automatically sets the time to night while that's happening. But you skip to it by jumping into the arena in a way that you die on the arena floor. You miss like the kill plane for jumping off the cliff, and then it resets you at the Stake of Marika right after, as though you've died to Radahn and you're redoing the fight, but it doesn't change the time of day, which is really fun. Anyway, here we go with 2 shard bearers down. We can head to Lanedale. Thoughts on an Elden Ring movie if Hollywood did one? Wouldn't capture the spirit of the game. I feel like the thing about this game is, and most video games really, is while they are cinematic, it really feels like the player is the one telling the story. Like, the story is like played out through a player's actions, and so not having any kind of agency over the narrative always makes a lot of video game movies ring kind of hollow for me. Movie adaptations of games are generally rubbish. Yeah.
Aye. One hit after that, and as such, as luck. If I and you know, who could expect? Just you wait.
We're going to grab Shard of Alexander because honestly, if we use Barrage, and if Barrage works with Shard of Alexander, it will be really good actually. 15% extra damage from an attack that deals less damage than most shots, but can be used to build up status quickly, would actually be really good. There's a difference between movie cinematics and game cinematics? Yeah, there is. Most games' cinematics either serve to move the story forward or alternatively just get you really excited to play a section of a game. And I think that's when cinematics are best used is when it sets up an experience for the player, instead of just showing you a scene where something dramatic happens and leaving the player wishing, oh, I wish I could have played that, you know? I think it's always much more exciting when a cinematic introduces a boss, but then you get to fight the boss, versus a cinematic where you would just see your character taking down a boss in a cinematic way that couldn't be accomplished through gameplay. But then you're like, oh, I wanted to do that, though. I forgot about the second archer. The one behind the grassy knoll. Anyway, bow time. Get wrecked. This is just going to be about, like, staying at range and dodging his attacks, which is fine because he likes to stay at range too. Mostly so he can fireball you with his horse, but... Nice. Oh, got him in the head that time. Okay, yep, fair. I've really got to stop doing that immediately after he turns, because sometimes he will do that and then I can get a couple of extra hits in, but other times he's mostly just repositioning and the shot won't connect anyway. Like there, for example. So now I can wait and do that and it does hit. Dang it. Okay. Nice. Keep it coming. Okay, lightning time. Of course. He's always got a fireball on deck right after you heal, and it's very funny. Nice. Good hit that time. Good, okay. So we can counterpunch most of these, I think. Except if he does that. Good. Touché. I saw it coming. I knew that was going to happen. Right. One more time. My problem is anytime we commit that heavily to a fight and we lose, we don't get the ammo back, so... I know this guy can be poisoned though, so maybe I'll switch out for the poison arrows and see if we can get a little bit of extra damage over time. Okay, he's poisoned already, so we can switch. Okay, that's not worth it. It turns out, Mighty Shot, not worth it for the extra damage. Oh, right in the face. Oh, another one. Yeah, now he's mad. Really funny when he tries the same move twice in a row. I think I hit the horse that time. I just knock a tree down with an arrow. Pretty sure that was him. See if we can get another poison. Mistimed the roll. Gotta get a heal. Nice, we got to interrupt the fireball for once. Okay, cool. Happy we got the second poison. The way a lot of status effects work in this game is if you inflict them once, they are harder to build up the second time around. So having the extra poison here is really useful. We got it this time. The disrespect. Very nice. Concentration for these longer fights is impressive to me. I can't focus for that long on an intense fight. Yeah, I think I've got the rhythm of a lot of these now. And once you've fought them a few times, once you're familiar with patterns and everything, it gets a lot easier. But Draconic Tree Sentinel is one of those where it's like... Let's put one into endurance. Probably need it. Yeah, that's definitely one of those fights where it's so pattern-y that it's much more predictable and safer, I think, to drag it out into a long fight. Whereas the more organic attack combos, they take longer to learn. Like Morgott as a fight, if you want it to be like really solid at Morgott, it would take a lot of effort, and like you ideally want to deal as much damage to him as possible, interrupt some of the more dangerous stuff he can do, because the longer it gets drawn out, the more likely it is that he's going to throw something at you you don't know how to predict. You want to go for the KO as fast as possible, instead of going 10 rounds with Morgott. Okay, so my understanding is that you get to the Avenue Balcony site of Grace, and then you jump off to the right, and there's a bunch of houses, and the Black Bow is up there somewhere, and you can go up some stairs to it, I believe, something like that. That's what I read on the wiki. I don't recall having really got this bow more than once or twice when I was exploring in my, like, original playthroughs. But I believe you go down the stairs here, you take a right, and then you figure out where it is from there. So there's some stairs here. Is it talking about these? Is it this? Oh, there's an Omen killer around here, isn't there? And some skeletal bodies. And it's on a rooftop somewhere? Is it this? Okay, that's not that. Is it this? Nope. Is it up these stairs and then onto the roofs from there? I think that might be it. Is it this? Ah, there it is. Now I can't warp away because of that guy. What's in here? There's definitely a house in this one with a Crucible Knight somewhere. Oh, this is the one that's full of the lightning pot guys. Boo! Oh, thanks for the clarifying boluses, I guess. Love a clarifying bolus. Praise the sun. Oh, yeah, of course, huh? Do not engage. This is a place we never normally go, and this is where you get all of Lionel's stuff, I'm pretty sure, right? Oh, hi Melina. It's like, what's happening here?
My art for bringing here, and thus I shall farewell. I shall leave. I wish you have. I have no.
You have, I have, you have, I have. Oh, yes. Fear cosplay. I remember. So from here, I guess we're going to Lanedale Sewers just to get the Smithing Stone 7 we need. We shouldn't need to fight anything while we're down here. The lobsters will kill me. So I'm not going to attempt that. The omens will also kill me. Basically everything will kill me. But at least if I die, I got a new rune arc. Cause of death lobster, yep. And not because I have a seafood allergy. But who knows, Black Betty might have a seafood allergy. She hasn't met the prawn man. Died so many times to these lobsters. Yeah, these lobsters particularly are a menace, but Lobsters throughout the lands are genuinely terrible. I'll take those arrows because we actually use those on this playthrough. I've dodged that guy so many times now. And this is where I vaguely wish I'd picked up the soft cotton earlier. But that's okay, we manage. Die. Fortunately, I got the smithing stone I wanted. Got punched in the face by a lobster for it, but we got there. As long as we get the smithing stone, that was incredibly successful. So let's go to Mohgwyn Palace. We'll start here. We'll go and get the big somber. We'll get a couple of great runes that we can break on the way. Well, not great runes, heroes runes, lords runes, whatever they are. Planned death, yeah, basically. Basically a tactical death. Who's ready for Raspberry Jam? Whoop. Bye, Ginger. Have a good one. Yeah, the only thing that's like slightly unfortunate about having died to the lobster there is it means we lose the rune arc that I had active at the time, but I could not really care that much about that. Yeah, here's another concern. We will probably have to go and get some Ghost Glove Water at some stage because I will want to summon at some stage. Oh no, he's touching the grace. I will leave. That guy should stick to his principles. We'll be back here at some stage to fight Mohg, because, as aforementioned, this guy always turns that way. Ooh. Yeah, as aforementioned, the DLC Arrow Sting Talisman is going to be helpful for this build, so despite the fact that it's kind of ridiculous and out of the way to do it, we should probably fight Mohg. You can get the talisman very easily once you're in the DLC. It doesn't require fighting any bosses, so doable. And we have, yeah, we have this, so. The Terrifying Rite of Blood. Anyhow, the black bow is now ours. This will be our weapon for the remainder of the run. We're going to go back to the round table hold and upgrade it to +10. And then probably talk to Roderica as well.
Isn't this around? I never knew, although I'm still looking.
No. Oh, don't pay me any mind. Just lay out your... Look, she's crazy.
Don't pay me any money. Okay, let's do this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The black bow is now ours to use and lose. Black Betty is on her way. So now if we upgrade this, like, Dex puts a couple of points of damage into it, which is worthwhile. We have a pretty decent stock of arrows. And now we have a place that we can farm runes. The only thing we are missing at this stage is going to be the Scarab Talisman that we'll go and get from Cleanrot Knights. And then I may end the stream a little early once we get to that point, because otherwise we'll just be farming runes on stream, and I am getting really hungry. So I think I need to go and figure out what's for dinner. Or at least, like, grab a snack or something, you know? So we'll backtrack up here to where the Abductor is. We'll do the Cleanrot Knight Duo fight. We will build Dex, we will build Vigor. Consider investing in Faith. But I think a little bit of Endurance and maybe some FP to use Barrage will be quite helpful. I think the reason people rely on Barrage so much is because it's really quick at building up statuses, sort of like Rain of Arrows, but a little more accurate. So we'll see how we get on. Snack sounds good, dinner sounds better. Yeah, it all depends what Cosme's routine is tonight. I don't know if they're streaming or not today. But I need to go out to the shop and get some bits and pieces. We're low on sugar and things. Okay, this time we get to do it without Scarlet Rot, which is nice. We're also doing it without a lantern, so apologies for how dark it is down here. That guy ended up in the geyser. Okay, yeah, this bow is decent. I believe there's also some serpent arrows down here, which is nice. A few extra freebies. Although, where exactly they are, I can't remember. Or maybe it's, no, it's the serpent bow that's here, my bad. I knew something serpenty was around here somewhere. So yeah, check this out. Quickly heal after that. Nice. This guy doesn't block, so get a couple of quick shots off. I said we get to do this fight without Scarlet Rot. I meant it. Nice. So yeah, you can roll and shoot, which you can't do with a regular longbow. The jump shot gets off way faster. Barrage just lets you spam arrows for as long as you have FP and endurance. Those are the benefits, my friends. Oh yeah, we can also go back to the round table hold and get a third talisman pouch, so let's do that now. Yeah, I can see why people like this bow. This is pretty good, actually. Let's get spirit tuning set up.
Still looking, it's not easy. your tale. I don't believe. If I do, I suppose I'll ask. Certainly, I know I can tell.
Okay.
Well, I took you no matter. Lay out your arm. Look up. I would stop, sir. I don't.
Okay, they'll be spirit tuning by the time we get back, and from here, I guess we should probably get some more arrows. Oh, I didn't talk to Enya. What am I doing? Let's get some more arrows anyway, because we need them. But
Wait, well, you're...
okay.
Goodbye.
Bye. Got it once because the ulcerated tree spirit in the pond of rot was annoying me. Yeah.
Only fine. You have now to become the thing as now become.
Okay. Throw the gold scarab on there now. Swap it for a ritual sword later, and we're back on our usual business. Do a little bit of bird farming on stream, I guess. We do also have a gold foot, so if we wanted to earn a few extra runes that way, then we could. We can also get Radahn's rune if we don't want to use Godrick's this whole time. It's a very different feeling maining a bow. Like, normally I'm doing like 5 or 6 damage to these things from this distance, and now I'm like hitting them in the head for 300 or 400. But then that's the bow fully upgraded and with 2 supporting talismans. So, I mean, I don't think any of the finger readers have eyes, do they? Empty sockets. For the most part. Hence the faith-based classes being blindfolded, yes. And a lot of them wearing masks that really don't let them see. And then in the DLC, they're like, give this person some eyes that mean they can't see grace or whatever. The whole thing. We never ended up using the Sacred Relic Sword on the run where we actually had it, so I am wondering if or when we will actually get around to it, aside from if we ever reach the S's in the alphabet. But I do have a couple of New Game Plus runs in mind for future playthroughs. That one's going to give us bonus runes. Kind of wish I'd spotted that earlier. We could have got 80k instead of 66, but that's still pretty nice. What do the holy people in this game do? Walk into walls? Most of the time, wordlessly howling people stroke their eyes or something, because that seems to be the Frenzied Flame vibe. Test builds on these guys up here. On my Faith build, I hit them with 6k damage. Nice. I think a lot of people use the Omens in Lanedale sewers for that, right? Eating grapes, yeah. So a duck goes up to a lemonade stand. It says, hey, got any frenzied flame? Have you heard the good word about Shibriri today? And he waddled away. The war flashbacks of that song taking over, yeah. It's a generational thing. For a while it was all your base belonged to us. Then it was the duck song. Pretty sure it's dangerous to be an important person in this game. Tell that to Kenneth Height. Grady! Hello, man. Grady, we're on the Black Bow playthrough. This is my 3rd bow playthrough, I think. And this thing actually rules. Like, so far, the Ash of War is really fun. We got it up to plus 10 immediately because it's a somber weapon, so I just knew where all the smithing stones were instead of having to grind for it. So right now we are just doing a little bit of rune farming. But we started this stream having just gotten all of the runes from cheesing dragons and cavalry and Caelid, so we are doing pretty well, I think. We got into Lanedale, we got this weapon, and now I am trying to level anything that will give it more damage. Sooner or later we're going to have to fight Mohg and get into the DLC so we can get that other arrow talisman. And I am, fair to say, probably not looking forward to that. But we'll do what we can. At the very least we'll go and get the 4th talisman pouch before. So that we can maybe get some extra stats or something else that's going to help us deal damage. I think maybe we could go for the Fire Scorpion Charm and the Flame Shrouding Crack tier, and then just use Fire Arrows, because I believe those still... It still counts towards ammunition when you have, like, fire attack boosts. On the bonk run, I was like, okay, I'm going to quickly take out Mohg to get my final bonk weapon real quick. 400 tries later, yeah. But, I mean, you're still learning the game. That's the thing. Like, your bonk playthrough is like your 2nd ever playthrough of the game. You're still learning. Your tutelage has only just begun. And you're like, I'm going to stay at 30 vigor or whatever, right? Like, you set these additional challenges for yourself on your 2nd playthrough. It's like, I've definitely seen some folks who are like, it's my 1st playthrough of Elden Ring, and I'm not going to level up, and I'm not going to use the horse. And I'm like, what? Just play the game first. But obviously, if you're into having a challenge for yourself, then that's great. And I am all for it, really. Oh, drew the bow twice that time. Maybe I went a bit hard, but I'm glad I did. It was super fun. Oh yeah, like I'm glad you had fun with it, because that's the whole point. How's Liza P? I don't know much about that game. I need to go back and see your VOD just to see if you had any sort of reaction to finding out that the thing you used to level up was called the P organ, because that's like the only thing I know about that game, and I find it hysterical. Liza P is incredible. Yeah, I've heard it's basically like Bloodborne, but you can play it on PC, and so I'm sort of tempted by it, but I don't know. Dude, I was so confused. I mean, you're like, my P organ's big enough. I don't know why you want to make it bigger, but like, sure, okay. Like, I guess. Yeah, no, I need to go back and watch some of that. I'm not worried about like spoilers for Liza P or anything, because I'm not planning on playing it anytime soon, but not out of a particular dislike for the game or whatever. I just don't have enough time to play new games. I've never been more concerned. The whole thing with Liza P, right, is that it's a weird, like, steampunk, Dark Souls-esque take on Pinocchio. Hence Lies, and the P in this case is Pinocchio. Like, there is a character whose name is Gemini, but they pronounce it Jiminy, like Jiminy Cricket, right? It's like that. It's one of those kind of games. And everything's like puppets and whatnot, right? I'm pretty sure Geppetto is a thing. But, like, that's the whole deal with Liza P. And so, yeah, like, you're becoming a real boy. And, yeah, the P stands for Pinocchio, I guess. You didn't even realize that? Oh, sorry to spoil that for you. I'm sure chat would have broken the news to you sooner or later, but, yeah. Like, if that's news to you, then, congrats, I guess. I just completely forgot. I mean, yeah, that's fair too. There's a lot going on immediately that you're like, I don't care what the story is in this game. I just need to attack some stuff and I guess learn to parry. Like, I think there's a lot of like parrying and sharpening your weapon mid-fight and stuff. Like, it seems like a really cool combat system, but again, I never played Bloodborne, so I don't have a whole lot to compare it to besides Elden Ring, and Elden Ring is kind of more my speed. But I do hope that they put Bloodborne on PC at some stage, because I will play it if they do. The P stands for Pinocchio, has the same vibe as the D stands for Dracula. They were going to do the spelling it backwards thing like Alucard, but Pinocchio backwards just looks like nonsense, so. Makes combat really strategic. Yeah. Like, I've seen it played a couple of times, and I got the gist of what combat was like, but I saw some of the more climactic boss fights, and I was like, this looks like something you would have to do a lot before you got it right. We're almost at a reasonable level of vigor. Reasonable by most people's standards. By Grady standards, we're already like 8 levels over the amount of vigor you should have. Dr. Emog Evilman, and the E stands for evil. Dude, I played Monster of the Week with a group yesterday evening, and one of them said, and I haven't looked it up yet, but he told the story of how Evel Knievel got his name, because Knievel is his last name, but obviously Evil isn't his first name, right? And so the story goes, this is one of those things that apparently, like, you think it's made up the first time you hear it, and then you Google it, and it turns out it's true. I have not Googled it, so again, this is secondhand news. But apparently, he got arrested at one point. And so he was arrested as, like, I don't know what his first name is. It's like Roger Knievel or something, right? And he got put in jail next to, or like in holding cells or whatever, next to a guy whose surname was Knorfel. Renshidu, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. I'm telling a story about Evel Knievel. But yeah, he got He got put in a cell next to somebody whose name was Knorful, and when people came around, that was a guy who was like always getting arrested or whatever. So they were like, "Oh, here's awful Knorful," or whatever. They were like joking around about it, and so he heard that and was like, "Well, I've got to make my name Evil Knievel," and that's apparently true. But like, what are the odds that your name is Knievel and you get put next to somebody whose name is Knorful? But that is the story that I was told last night. So again, no idea if that's actually true, but they said it sounds like it's made up, but it is actually true. Is what I was told. Okay, so at level 89, close to 90, I guess, we have 50 dex. It seems like this weapon's threshold seems to be around 50, because we're not immediately getting more return on our investment. Like, it kind of soft caps and tails off. It does still scale with strength, but it scales more with dex, so we could put some into strength just for the damage resist. I'm kind of tempted by faith, though. Slightly related, one of my friends gave the kid Danger as a middle name. Amazing. Very, very good. I also went to school with a couple of people whose surname was Dangerfield, and I've always thought that that seems like a funny surname to have. The Field of Danger. So I think at this stage we can go and buy some more flame arrows. I might fight the Putrid Avatar in Caelid. I said I was going to end early, but then I keep getting good ideas. Knievel's website says that he chose his nickname after spending a night in jail in 1956 after being arrested for reckless driving. In the jail that same night was a man named William Knorful who had the nickname Awful Knorful. Yeah, I mean Knorful. Yes, Awful Knorful. Danger is my middle name. I was transitioning, didn't like my middle name, suggested it as a joke. My parents were like, that sounds sick, actually. I mean, it sounds like you have cool parents, so good job.
How nice, please.
So, important tests to now do. First of all, we have to kill this tree avatar. They are incredibly cool, that is correct. Well, good. Nice to have cool parents. So I think I want to do this. See if the flame shrouding tier gives us more fire damage from arrows. Because I could look this up on the wiki, but I also just want to see the effects for myself. And we should be able to take down this tree avatar with relative ease. Then we'll go and do Seethwater River and get the Fire Scorpion charm, if it does work, because then that means the fire arrows will have extra damage versus everything. Get wrecked. Yeah, that jump shot comes out pretty fast. And this thing does a lot of damage now? Hello? I say a lot of damage. I mean, compared to the starting longbow I was using, yeah, it's going to do a lot of damage, but that's because we've upgraded it fully. Alright. Dodgy McDodgerson over here. They got that Bloodborne slide. Delves of Dodgington. And Falhurst of Crewe. Oh, that's good. Little extra cheeky follow-up. Alright, here's our real test. This ain't bad. Sick. That's how you fight a tree. With a bow. So that now gives us Flame Shrouding Cracked Tear. Now we get to test this. What do we test this on? Okay, first we need to get a... We need to remove the strength tier just in case that changes anything. We get a control reading on this. Where is the nearest enemy? Okay. We'll fire at the dog from this path, just using a fully charged R2. That did 426 damage. Although it did do it to the face, so we'll see if it works the same this time around. What's up, Mythical Beastinator? Welcome in. And now we'll do the same thing, but with Flame Shrouding Cracked Tear from this path. Fully charged R2. Okay, that does a little bit more damage when we hit it in the face. So we're getting 280s. Alright, yeah. Yeah, I think it does a touch more damage. I think the first time around I hit it in the face, and so the second one did less damage for various reasons. Maybe I should try it on a enemy that's not immediately going to throw its face in front of me. Or we start attacking, drink the physic, keep attacking. Okay, 357, but that was an ambush attack, really, so... Also not fully conclusive. What build do I have right now? This is Black Bow with all of the talismans that will allow me to enhance archery. And I'm currently using the Flame Shrouding Cracked Tear to see if it deals more damage with fire arrows after that. Okay, so 400, 272, 408, 421. Okay, yeah. So I think, honestly, it does a little bit more damage. Maybe like 10% more damage, which I think is what it's supposed to do. So if we stack that with the Fire Scorpion Charm, we'll actually get a massive damage boost from fire arrows per hit, which is kind of huge. So I think let's go and try that. Because that'll also get us a lot of additional damage on, like, Radahn before he starts deflecting arrows, which might give us a chance at fighting Radahn without summons, which would be nice. I know, I think he's also vulnerable to Scarlet Rods, but I think if there's any bow that we're going to fight Radagon with solo, it's this one. Because the damage is good, the scaling is okay, and it's got the best bow move set, from what I understand. All the talismans and stuff confuse me so much I just give up and brute force it. I mean, that's a perfectly viable strategy, sure. But, I'm now at the point in this where I'm doing, not like super number crunchy builds, but I'm at least trying out different stuff and trying to tailor each playthrough to a specific weapon. Means that I get to try out a lot of different combinations of stuff and see what works. Throughout most of the A weapons... Oh, this is actually our last golden seed we need for another level up. Another flask, I mean. Throughout most of the A weapons, I was basically looking up recommendations for how people used them on the Elden Ring wiki. But now I think I know enough about various different playstyles in this game to sort of theory craft my own way through these. Instead of just following other people's advice. My black bow run ended at Fire Giant, so I kept running out of arrows each try. Yeah, I can see that being the case. I'm going to be farming a lot of runes and going in with a full set of everything. But I'm also going to be going to the DLC and getting the extra arrow damage talisman, so hopefully that should deal an extra chunk to Fire Giant. Because it stacks with the arrow sting talisman, but also has the bonuses of the range talisman. And if worst comes to worst, we'll just summon Alexander. That guy needed to get his squats in for the day. So I helped him with that. Good fight. Thanks for the massive hammer. Get pantsed. Do you have a dex build right now? Is that good for bows? Yeah, bows typically scale with dexterity. It's not a cut and dry thing, and they don't have very high scaling. You also can't infuse this bow. Like, bows in general can't be infused with affinities. They can be infused with different ashes of war, but not affinities. So, let's go fight Godfrey to get our last... thingy. You know, what's it? Our last talisman pouch. Long range option with the bow seems better than some spells. Yeah, I think it might be. So this lowers damage negation, which means... yeah, some of our resistances are, like, pretty rough. But if we can stay at range and deal a lot of fire damage, it's going to be over quite quickly. This guy's got lightning arrows. Why can't I have lightning arrows? I mean, I can. I just refuse to go and get the cookbook for them. Have I done storylines in this game? Like, have I done the different endings? The only one I haven't done is Gold Masks. Because it does not quite feel like it fits any of the characters we've done so far. And, hang on 1 second. This is tradition at this point. With the longest possible sword. But of course we haven't upgraded this sword, so he didn't die immediately. The Golden Order one, yeah. I think honestly my favorite is just Ranni's ending, which is a boring answer, but is the correct one. But yeah, I feel like the other endings aren't distinct enough to really be worth bothering with for the most part. Like, Age of Fracture is just standard at this point. Ranni's ending is always fun. Frenzied Flame is fun too, but in a very different way. And Fears, Dung Eaters, and Gold Masks are all the same but with different sprinkles. Not really worth getting headshots on these guys if they don't die in one hit, so... Yeah, Gold Masks is probably one we will bother doing when I'm doing an Int Faith build. Which is rare on these playthroughs so far. Thanks for the Sword Spear. I think we're ready for Godfrey. Let's see how we do. You got something on your head there, bud. Absolute pincushion. Next. Time for another barrage. Smoothest Godfrey fight we've had in a while. Even with that last hit. Yoda, thanks so much for the 11 months. Welcome back. Good to see you. Hope you're well. That's nice damage by the bow. Yeah, I mean, if you can get successive hits off like that, it actually does pretty well. And I think strength scaling is going to give us a couple of points here that Dex just isn't, so... maybe we get strength up to somewhere near 50 as well. I think it'll probably fall off after 40, but that's still a reasonable goal. And also gets us some physical defense, which will be really nice. Yeah, we will need to make sure that we stockpile arrows. But that's our 4th talisman, so we can get hold of Arrow's Soaring Sting to replace Arrow's Reach, because you sacrificed that one, but then it gives you the effect plus extra damage. And then we got room for one more, maybe Ritual Sword. Maybe Ritual Sword. This might be hubris, but I'm wondering if we can go and take on Mohg. Part of me wonders. Because again, with doing a little extra damage, this barrage skill and doing reasonably well just keeping him at range, we might be okay. Because then if we can get into the DLC, then first thing we do on the next stream is go and get the extra talisman. Let's give this a try. I think my vigor might be a little low for Mohg, but we'll see. Your stream froze, but you're back. Welcome back. We also have a pretty low amount of runes now, so it's possibly worth going in here and doing this. Let's see. Still no idea whose arm this is. Is this the DLC part? This is the part where if you beat this boss, you get access to the DLC, as long as you've also beaten Radahn. But most people will have beaten Radahn before they even think about coming here to fight Mohg, so...
Dearest Mikola.
Really not sure that's him, considering everything else that you see in the DLC.
You must abide alone a while.
Unless he had, like, 3 right arms.
Welcome, honored guest, to the birthplace of our dynasty.
Okay, let's see how this goes. First of all, that did a reasonable amount of damage at range.
Trace.
Getting trays already. We don't have the shackle, I just realized. Ow. I mean, I'm setting him on fire, so him setting me on fire is fair game. You've really got to wait for the delays. Just continuing to spam this at range is glorious. Alright, Mr. Zoni. No sign of Duo yet. Interesting. Oh, he speared me. No way. I think we got this. I think we can do this. Played before the DLC, so I'd never seen this cutscene. Oh, the boss was definitely in the game before this, but yeah. Let's do quick stock check on arrows. I mean, we're fine, I guess. I think we probably need to use the rune arc. We got a couple of options for buying more if we need more. Let's go. I did my first, like, my opening barrage before I used the flame shrouding tears, so maybe this way we can get a little bit more.
Trace.
go end to end here, I guess. Okay, okay, we're moving it, we're moving it. The needle is moving. Okay, now he's strafing me. The rhythm for Mohg is a little tough, but very doable. Okay, here we go. Okay, now we got to deal with this. Alright, yeah, this is going to be tougher. I haven't fought phase 2 of Mohg this legit for a while, so... End to end is going to be the strat, right? Ouch. Oh, okay. That was heavy, but not the worst. His trident in this phase has like a lot of like extra stuff that it spews at you. So besides him actually casting Blood Flame stuff, his trident just inherently does it. This is a little bit rough, but it's a storm we can weather. I just need to avoid getting hit by attacks like that and get some distance so that we can barrage. Nice, okay. Okay, now we're running. He moves about as fast as I run. It's ridiculous. He's so passive at longer range, though, which is nice. Okay, if I get hit by anything now, then I'm toast. So, quick heal if we can. Yep. Rough, but okay. Look at how full of arrows he is, dude. Okay, good. We can probably get a barrage in here. I have the high ground. Okay, and now I need to regain stamina. No, 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 no. Oh, God. Okay, good. Better. Okay, he didn't follow up that time, which means we get loads of time to lay into him. Great. Even better. More barrage. Dude, I think we might have this if we don't mess up in the last few seconds here. Yes! We're in the DLC! Ho ho ho! Ran through like 2/3 of my ammo. That was a test, and friends, we passed. Should have had the foul foot ready to pop, but I didn't want to get cocky about it. Okay, well, we get a bit more damage out of strength still, which is nice. So it's 7 levels into strength. Takes us to, yeah, like 7 additional damage on the bow, which is not bad, considering it's a bow. The scaling is trash. We don't need Mohg's Remembrance, so disrespect that real quick. And thanks for doing this type of run. It's nice seeing the fight from a ranged perspective. Yeah, honestly, being able to see what a boss is doing for once is kind of nice. And let's get to Gravesite Plain, because we will end the stream there, but we'll pick up next time and we'll go and get the other talisman, and then we can try and beat the rest of the game. I will maybe do a little bit of leveling or perhaps a little bit of resource gathering in between this stream and the next, but that was a pretty clean Mohg fight, all things considered. Thank you, Godrick's Great Rune, for the carry. We're in the DLC, friends. So, we'll wrap things up there. I'll raid somebody and we'll call it a night. Black Betty is already on her 3 hours 30 mark. But we'll wrap things up there at level 99. Which is a pretty respectable level to have fought Mohg and survived after 2 attempts. So I'll call it good. Let's see who we can raid today. Who's doing some cool stuff? We'll send you folks over to Joel Duggan, my co-host on the Spawn Chunks podcast. He's playing Satisfactory today. He's got ridiculous projects in this game. Like, Joel is an artist in this game. He's building satisfactory factories that are based on Transformers. So he has, like, the Decepticons or Autobots logo up on the factory and everything. It's really cool. All of the color schemes are, like, designed after some of the Transformers from the 80s cartoon. It's very, very cool. So we're going to go and raid Joel. And if you want to hear more of me and Joel, listen to the Spawn Chunks podcast on Mondays. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. We'll see you again probably on Sunday. Like I said, I'm coming back from London on Sunday morning, so that may be Sunday afternoon by that point, and I'm not certain what time stream will start, but I'll try and keep you folks updated. In the meantime, have a great weekend. I'll talk at you soon. Take care. Bye for now.